Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Mogul Maniac for the Atari 2600. This game was made by the Amiga Corporation, who actually created the Amiga microcomputer, which would be sold by Commodore after Commodore bought Amiga out. And the Amiga would end up being the successor to the Commodore 64. It would be the 16-bit microcomputer that Europe, especially Europe, and the world over would celebrate and play the heck out of in the 80s into the 90s. And still celebrated in the European video game industry for many years afterwards, all the way up to this present day. But before the Amiga microcomputer was a thing, there was this game for the Atari 2600 called Mogul Maniac. Back when the company was founded, they tried to make the Amiga, back then codenamed Lorraine, and in order to raise money for the project that was called Lorraine and would later become the Amiga, they would design and sell joysticks and game cartridges for popular game consoles such as the Atari 2600 and ColecoVision, as well as an input device called the Joyboard, especially a joystick the player stood on. Now, the Joyboard, it was a balance board that you could plug in to the Atari 2600. And you could stand on it, and when you lean back or forward or to the side, you would control the game accordingly. All you had to do was just plug a joystick into the Joyboard, just put it in there and plug it in, and you could just control the game just by leaning in a certain direction. The only game to make use of the Joyboard was this one, the game that we are playing right now called, or we're going to play now, called Mogul Maniac. The only other game that really used this was another game that I've never heard of until now, was a game called Off Your Rocker, which was never officially released save for some cartridges of the game sold by a company known as Pleasant Valley Video. There was supposed to be a surfing game called Surf's Up that would have used a joystick, but it never officially got released either. So this is the only official release for the Joyboard, as well as Off Your Rocker, which is more of a unofficial release that was sold in limited quantities from some company somewhere. But we're not playing this with the Joyboard. Instead, we're actually going to play this with the joystick, which you can do. Now, if you set the black and white / color switch to color, which is what I'm guessing is the default, especially if you're playing this on Stella. If you set that switch to color, you'll be able to play with the Joyboard. But if you set it to black and white, which I'm going to do right now, the game will still be in color, but you can now control it with the joystick. So, Mogul Maniac, it's a skiing game. You move between the sets of flags, try to get to the finish, hopefully without running into anything. And you do this in 9 specific courses that the game provides. You choose the course that you want to play on with the game select switch, and then you reset the game to start playing. And once you reset the game to play the course that you want, you then press the fire button to get started. We're going to start with course 1, and there are 2 numbers in green. The first one on the left is how many sets of flags you have to get past, and the second one, which is on the right, is the maximum speed you can reach in that course. So we have 35 sets of flags that we can move past to get to the end, and we can go a maximum of 22 miles per hour. Restart. We have our timer. We have our stats ready to go. Actually, no, you have to hold up on the joystick. By holding up, you lean forward, and you lean back and slow down with down on the joystick, and left and right lets you move left and right. You actually don't use the fire button for anything. And this is about as pleasant as it gets. There are maps for all of the courses in the manual, so you can kind of see how the routes are. But the routes never change, and you don't really need a manual to play this game. You can easily figure this out, although you may have to fool around to find out that you need to mess with the black and white and color switch to play with the joystick instead of the joyboard peripheral. It's kind of weird that way. And, of course, the balance board, the joyboard, would predate the Wii balance board for the Nintendo Wii by quite a few years. So, we had that. There was also the Rollin' Rocker, which was, of course, mentioned by the angry video game nerd. That was a thing as well. We had something like that for the NES, but it never really quite got anywhere, and it was just more of a third-party novelty peripheral more than anything else. There wasn't really anything made for that thing in particular, so therefore there's not much of a reason for me to talk about it, first off, and second off, there's not much left to be said anyway, because nothing was released for it. Those 2 points are probably the same point. Also, this first course, yeah, pretty slow. It can come off as boring. I'm going as fast as I can. This is as fast as the game will allow me to go on this course. But that's a good thing, because once you know how this works, you'll be used to how to play the game pretty quickly. And when you see the green things in the background, you've reached the trees, which means you've reached the finish line. And there we go, 242.9. And then we can hold up on the joystick if we want to play that again. We're not going to play that again. Course 2, we have 63 sets of flags, and our maximum speed is 26. Things get a little bit faster in this area. Oh. And you want to hold up and right as soon as you start this course. So that way, you can get to that first set of flags easily. This is where it becomes a little easier to figure out, hey, once the flags get past enough, you can move past them. Also, for best results, you want to make sure that the path is clear directly in front of your skis, which are those little blue things at the bottom center of the screen that are moving left and right as I move left and right. As long as the flags don't touch those directly, you're good. Also, there are 9 courses, and if I were to play this right now, all 9 courses, we'd be here for a little while. So, this is actually going to get split into 3 parts each. One for courses 1 through 3, another for 4 through 6, and a third one for 6 through 9. I'll eventually do a long play video minus commentary that covers everything at once. And I may make another video out of that where I do speak out of it. I think I'll do that, actually. That'll be fun. That way I can cover all of the courses in one video and with commentary and living things up a little, I guess. So the background does move a little bit, but you have to turn quite a bit. You have to make like a pretty good turn just to see that background movement. But when it's there, it is indeed there. As for these sets of gates, you just want to wait for the first flag to disappear, and then you make your move, so that way you can move between them. I should probably mention that already, but this video's been going on for about 12 minutes now, and you've probably already figured it out just by watching me. Nevertheless, I've given an explanation. And 26 miles per hour is the fastest I can go. Yeah. This is also a little boring. And this one is also a lot longer. Just because of all the flags that we have to get past. But at least we don't have to worry anymore because we made it. I'm going to move a little bit to the right just to be safe there. 321.1. And now we have 63 flags to get past, and we have a top speed of 30. Now, with the top speed of 30, things get a little more interesting. Things get a lot faster. I do like it at the speed. Though there will be courses where you move faster than 30 miles per hour. And if you do that, you're going to have a bit of a challenge. And I'll talk about that in the next video when I play through courses 4 through 6. For now, though, this is more my kind of speed. Things are coming in a little more quickly, but at least they're not coming out too quickly. I'm doing a little bit more maneuvering, but at least I have an idea of when to move. When the flags start getting shorter, that's definitely your cue to start turning. Like when they are big as they're gonna be. That's when you need to start turning. And we are getting close to where we need to be. And there we go, 140.7. Now, thankfully, we haven't run into any of the flags yet. You'll definitely tell if you hit one of them. There's also a mode in the game where if you set the left difficulty switch to A/expert, you're immediately disqualified when you hit a flag or miss a gate, which is basically a set of flags. And if that happens, your time immediately becomes 9:59.9, and you can't get a best time anymore, but you can still complete the run and try as hard as you can. Thankfully, we've left it on B/Novice this whole time, which makes it so that doesn't happen. But thankfully, we never ran into any of the gates/flags. And with that, that's 3 courses down and 6 to go. Join me next time where I play through courses 4 through 6 in Mogul Maniac. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!